of action. So maganda ang pinakita ni Stanley Pringle. They're hoping maging consistent si Stan and be injury-free as well.
And Stanley Pringle is a 2-time PBA scoring champion. Si Terence Romeo, 3-time PBA scoring champion. So yan talaga maasama dyan sa dalawang yan, their ability to score. And again, we'll talk more about the bigs naman netong Terra Firma as we bring in Miss Eileen Shi.
Magandang simula ang ipinakita ng Terra Firma Jeep as they won against Phoenix in their first outing here in the Philippine Cup. According to assistant coach Raymond Gavieres, all of this was made possible dahil pinagtuunan nila ng pansin ang
the defending champions of the Philippine Cup as they took down the mighty San Miguel Beermen last season dito sa komperensya to. At sinimulan na nila yung fantastic win over Converge, which they got in dramatic fashion.
In dramatic fashion with that game winner from Chris Newsom. You look at the offensive rebounds, you look at the second shot. Yan ang points sa first quarter pa lang. You know, they were really able to get those second chance points from Raymond Gavieres. And tuloy-tuloy yan all the way to the end. You look at the free throws, they gave up a lot of free throws to Converge. Converge only shooting 59% from that free throw line. Pero nung fourth quarter, depensa nagpapanalo para dito sa Meralco. They made stops, they forced turnovers, and they were able to convert off those turnovers.
That's grit and grind talaga yung laban na yan. Yung Converge nung first quarter, they looked comfortable, pero nung gumana na si Porter, doon nag-iba yung tema ng laro. At the end of the day, Chris Newsom will continue to be the heart and soul of the Meralco Bulls. Siya rin yung nakatira ng game winner that brought them the franchise's first PBA champion. Yun, they're out here to defend. Ito, yung game winner ni Newsom to make them or give them a 1-0 record to start the Philippine Cup.
May not have had a great start itong si Chris Newsom. You could see that there were struggles at the beginning for Chris Newsom. Nakapilok pa yan ng third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. But 15 points in total, 11 in the fourth quarter. 4 of 8 from that 2-point area. And Chris Newsom is just a guy now that, you know, he's reached that level that kahit pag-struggle ako all game long, pag doon sa dulo, ibibigay mo yung bola sa kanya because buo na yung loob niya. He wants to take those game winners.
You know, teams need star players like Chris Newsom, but they also need mga steady players na baka hindi kasing big of a star, but will show up game in and game out. At yun ang kukuha ng Meralco. Ever since Bong Quinto joined this lineup, he can play multiple positions, defend multiple positions, pwede siyang magbigay ng puntos, rebounds, assists, and a whole lot more. That's what he gave to Meralco in that win that they got against Converge. Yun talaga yung keyword, he was steady throughout that game.
Throughout that game, Bong Quinto, you like how he's able to, you know, shoot from the outside, post up, defend on the other end. And what I liked about Quinto, you look at his numbers, we're gonna show that. 14 points, 3 of 5 from the 3-point area, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Pero meron siyang crucial stop, may crucial assist, and then may crucial help out siya pagdating sa depensa. So, he is just complete yung pinapakita itong si Bong Quinto for Meralco, and that's why he's such an important piece of the puzzle.
Alam mo, natutuwa ako dito, Dom, sa nangyaring schedule natin this season, nahuli yung Philippine Cup. Because nanggaling tayo sa Commissioner's Cup, matatangkad yung mga imports, and I feel like may chip on their shoulders yung mga local big men na, okay, wala na yung matatangkad na banyaga, and now it's our time to shine. Raymond Almazan at the spotlight in that game.
13 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks, plus 17 sa efficiency ratio. Ang maganda dito kay Raymond Almazan, majority of his points coming off offensive rebounds. And siya yung sumubok gumising sa Meralco in that first quarter. They were down as much as 20 in that first quarter. Pero because of his hard work, because of him fighting for those basketballs, bumaba yung kalamangan ng kalaban.
Nusam came off the bench.
And especially coming off a win.
That's right. Na siya pa nagpamanalo. Pero yan ang labanan sa coaching eh, di ba? You have to be able to be one step ahead.
But also, remember, na-sprain si Chris Newsom nung previous game, which was just Friday. So, maaring may nararamdaman yan. So, we don't know.
We'll try to get word, but I'm pretty sure na maya-maya rin lang yung makikita na natin si Newsom in the meantime.
But also, you know, you look at how they wanted to start, and that's why the coaching staff looks like they're deciding that gusto lang may energy, especially when you have Jansen Rios there. He's a guy who's full of energy and Raymond Almazan as well.
Saan sila did not realize that shot clock was down. You were saying, no?
Itong si Raymond Almazan, we all know that his game really gumaganda yung depensa niya pag nakakashoot siya.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
His defense is fueled by his offense. So they're hoping that he can get, you know, shots early.
By the way, the officials for this game, Mike Fortaleza, Jeff Tantay, Kenny Halligan, James Paez. Neither team has scored in the first minute. Quinto, papasagin na yung katahimikan nitong larong to.
4-point shot for Quinto.
Well, I think that's a pretty good start of the game.
Hindi mo hindi akalain ng depensa niya, natitira siya agad ng 4 points eh.
And honestly, Dom, yung usage ng 4-point shot here in the PBA, medyo bumaba after the excitement to begin with. But if Quinto will stay hot like this, baka maraming bitawang 4 to.
Ito, simula na gusto nila, di ba? 7-0 run right away.
By the way, yung pangalawang tira niya was only a 3, but the confidence is up. Only, di ba? Ramos got the rebound away from Almazan.
Malaki and Kevin Ferrer and Kemar Carino. You know, it's going to be important. Gang rebounding. What does gang rebounding mean? All 5 guys on the floor need to be able to box out, but at the same time, try to go for that basketball.
Oh, nice pass into Tuhan. She was fouled by Ramos. 2 free throws for Cliff.
Facilitator as well, ito si Bong Quinto. Ito, hindi akalain ni Ramos na titira siya agad-agad ng 4 points.
Hindi rin nila inakala na susundan din agad ng 3. And also this last play kung saan na-foul si Hodge, it was a byproduct of those first 2 shots ni Quinto. The defender had to respect his range.
Bigla yung depensa eh, di ba? So because of that, he passed it off. And then, you know, that's just great recognition dun sa binibigay sa kanya ng depensa.
And that's why we say to see Bong Quinto, he possibly has the star ability to be the face of a different franchise. Pero sa sistema kasi ng Meralco, hindi ganun eh, di ba? And it's not one guy. Even though you'll say that Newsom is the leader, he's not a 25 points per game kind of player. He could, yeah. A lot of guys here sa Meralco could be. Yung mga ganong klaseng player na bangkita natin kanina, di ba? Nandito sa Terra Firma and guys like Stanley Pringle who's on the floor. Terrence Romeo will be coming off the bench for them later on. Tuloy! Iwan lahat!
Remember when he first played for Terra Firma, kung ano yung pinakita niya, diba? One of that games that they won, he had like 30 points. Basically ran away with that ball game.
Right. I think nung una naglaro si Noin, kinailangan nilang i-inspect yung sapatos niya kung may turbo. Here's Hanapi challenging Hodge. Good defense by Cliff.
Well, he had a couple of blocks as well last Friday. And I remember...
That's right. Well, Noy, anong bukod sa bilis? Ang taas din tumalo nito ni Mark. Meralco staying patient with their offense. Rios looking for Quinto. There's that handoff. Ramos na naman ang napunta sa kanya. Almazan had an advantage, but he shied away from it. Cliff Hodge will score, or that might be a tip from Almazan. Oh, they credit it to Hodge. Good ball screen action. Sanggalan na isahan si Almazan.
He just knows how to move in that paint. Uses his pivot very well.
Dalawang produkto ng letran yan, dalawang yan. Different generations. Here's Rios. Jansen, sapal dun. Tumatakbo na firma. Nonoy hitting the brakes. And I think that's the maturity of Mark Nonoy we saw there in that particular way. Dati dire-diretso na yun. Pringo from the outside. That's a miss. Understandably rin kasi pagpasok ni Nonoy sa PBA, there was a certain excitement dahil hindi siya agad nakapaglaro when he got drafted.
Kaya inaabangan talaga yung bilis niya. You know, he's a very exciting player.
And I am sure he has a bright future ahead here in the PBA. Nonoy, guarded by Black. It's with Sanggalang now. Pringo to Ramos. Attacks the closeout. The defense of Meralco. Kakaldagin. Yung defense, no good. Good box out by Meralco.
Open pass that time by Aaron Black, finding Quinto open.
The miss, but Almazan with an easy rebound and put back.
This is the offensive rebounds that we talked about earlier on in the previous game for Meralco, which did them well.
12-4 and lamang ng Bolts. Terrafirma having a difficult time putting points up on the board. Nothing much materializing sa opensa neto, Chief. Pringo. Still nothing. Almazan, another rebound for him.
Credit the defense of Meralco na hindi pinapayagan itong Terrafirma to get into their rhythm. So we might see, you know, some substitutions for Terrafirma, maybe a Terrence Romeo showing early on.
That's right. And they will need guys who can step up. At now,
are they going to give him continuation?
I think the referees are going to talk it over.
I would think not. Because the foul, it didn't seem like he was about or going to take the shot. Parang na tinawag ng foul, dun niya tinita.
Yes, mismo. But they rule it 2 free throws para kay Nonoy. Or 3 free throws. Oh, that is a big break para sa Terrafirma. At yun din yung kinakainis ni Coach Nel at Coach Mitch. And team manager Paolo Trillo, pati na rin head coach Luigi Trillo. Ang tanong ko ngayon, sadya pa yung pabanda ni Nonoy dun sa free throw?
Parang sinasabi, sige magkagulo kayo dyan, titira ako free throw.
Dina Tanapio be on the bench now. Bagong pasok Paulo Hernandez, who actually had a nice showing in his early conferences dito sa PBA. 2 of 3. At ang pasok ni Nonoy sa free throws.
And 1 off the board.
Oh, siguro yun, di ba? Lang natin. Wala bang bonus point yun? Back to Hodge. Hodge, susugod, no good. Rebound, nakuha pa ni AB, and he puts it right back in. Talk about breaks in the game.
Stop na yun eh. Diba? That was already a stop and not able to control that basketball.
Here's Terrafirma. Hernandez first touch of that basketball. Nonoy gagamit ng screen. Hernandez bibitaw sa labas. The 3-point shots have not been falling for Terrafirma.
Unlike in the previous game when they knocked down 15.
That's right, they're 0 for 3 now to open up this game. At matatawagan pa ng foul si Hernandez. Ito na yung sinabi mo, maagang balasan ng tao because pero bago makapasok sina Romeo at Melesio, may time
itong Meralco. And ang maganda dyan, let's pick off what her report said as well. Pa nila itong terra firma prior to the start of the season, right? And they were down actually at the half. And you
They've been doing it both offensively and defensively. Sa offense, sa Rios na libre. Tres ang bibitawan, tres ang ipapasok.
7 points for Bonquito, and by my count, 2 assists already.
Wow. He has been right at the very core of Meralco's early attack. Romeo coming off a magnificent second half nung kalaban nila ang Phoenix. Melesio. 0 for 4 now. Terra firma from 3-point range. Nasabi nga ni Dom, 15 threes ang pinasok nila to get that win against Phoenix. What a move by Ginto. Napalakas lang yung tira. And Bates was there to top of the mess.
Offensive rebounds, second chance points. Yun ang kinakailangan matignan itong terra firma. Well, that was really the concern, right?
That Meralco is playing right now.
Like he wanted to get rid of that basketball right away. Parang hindi pa kailangan eh. Could have waited a little bit.
Taken away. It was they would get a firma, but good deflection by Quinto. Ito na ang pagpasok ni Chris Newsom. Kasama niya si Kurt Rison and Raymar Jose. Yan yung tinatawag nating Rainen Hugnatan starter pack. Dalawang knee sleeves. Yun.
At makulay na sapatos.
Tama yan, tama yan. Melesio. Traveling on that Yugo step. There was a time yung tinatawag na Yugo, when you hop from one foot and land on the same, naging lethal weapon yan. Richie Rivero and the many arenas that he used that, including FIBA 3x3. Kaya lang, syempre, nag-adjust ang rules and you can't do that anymore.
Now you go back on defense.
Oh. Tama yun.
Kasi traveling.
You go home. Yun yung patim. 13-point lead for Meralco. Sanggala. Ganda ng intention din nun. And they're using that high post for Sanggala to operate and just try to see what opportunities there are on offense. Romeo was free and he gets his first 2 points. So in this game, hindi na nagantay ng second half si Terence para makapag-ambag.
And what you like there is he's moving well without that basketball.
Kadalasan kasi one-on-one breakdown eh, di ba?
Challenge na niya makuha yung bola dun sa taas. Kaya siya may hawak ng bola, siya mag-create. That time was able to move well without that basketball. Got 2 points.
Talo pumalas ang pinuhunang atas na pangarap lang pa sa labaang. Di bale, walang pake sa maaarte. Tuloy lang at kampante. Ito lang ang diskarte. Bumubulusok, umuusok, tumutusok.
that he has that killer instinct when he has that basketball. Di ba, scorer? Well, di ba manakanapan ng depensa itong si Terence Romeo?
Alam mo, matatandaan to ng PBA fans. Siyempre, yung rookie year niya, nagkaroon sila ng showdown ni Mark Agiwa.
Oh, yes.
Terence scored 34 points against one of his idols growing up.
And I like yung point of view niya. Sabi niya, di ba, what better way to show your idol mo siya than bring your A-game?
Yeah, for sure. Sabi nga, di ba, ni Drake sa kanta, until your idols become your rivals. That's what Terence did. And yung sinabi niya naman dun sa interview, I know we touched on that topic again already for a different player, pero yung maturity din. Now he understands that winning basketball games, especially at this level, doesn't mean siya yung kailangan laging mag-score.
Oh, yes. Especially now, he's in a team that, you know, they need a lot from him. He may not have the same people around him. Not like a Sandigan, but may have a Jumar, he would have a Marshall Laster, and all the other guys that he can defer to. So, mas
points to get close to Meralco. 11 points pa rin na naman.
John talking about assists. 4 assists for Meralco and 1 para sa Terra Firma. And that 1 assist, si Terence Romeo yung recipient nung
Yeah.
Di ba? Anong assist na yun?
And it was, like you said earlier, a product of his off-ball. Yung number na yan will have to go up for Terra Firma.
for sure.
Yung 1 assist.
Hindi pa pwede yan.
But at the same time, if you only have 10 points up on the board, eh, mahirap din to have a lot of assists.
Well, in that game that they won against Phoenix, they had 18 assists. 5 nang galing kay Malesio, 4 nang galing dito kay Mark Nonoy. Shorts. Parang nakita ko nga dun sa racetrack yun, ha? Kala ko mainit lang.
Oh, look at that. That's the second time that a guard of Meralco attacked the paint, drew the attention, sabay iwan sa kanyang big.
Defensively, you know, you look at Terra Firma, what's been the issue? You know, if you want to be able to focus on just little things first, yung offensive rebounds. Itong Meralco, they need to be able to put a stop on that and into second chance points. 7 second chance points already for Meralco. Bawasan mo ng 7 yan.
Their best
Hindi
basketball.
fantastic basketball.
Grit and grind games. Like how they got to win over Converge.
I mean, they're not, you know, this is the question I asked a lot. Explosively, but Meralco doesn't really, hindi ka tatampakan. Di ba, yung runs still are maybe 8 points, 9 points. TNT is an explosive team, right? But Meralco, 8 points, and they'll really outwork you, and dadaanin ka sa disiplina.
Yeah, hindi na talaga. The way they play the first quarter, kadalasan, up until the end of the game. How about Santibar providing 3 points? Nakakascore pa rin
Points na itong Terra Firma.
They thought about it. Now he'll take it, freed up by Bates. Sinagot yung 3.
Was that miscommunication there on defensive end?
Possibly.
Iwan di ba? Wide open si Rayson.
Bumitaw na yan kanina ng tira. So, you know that he's gonna take it if you give him space.
I mean, ever since he came into the PBA, paghawak na ng bola. Di ba? He's a known scorer, so you cannot... May mga iba kasi na pagpasok sa PBA, sige, ano muna, pasa muna ako. Ganyan. But there are also some guys, depending on the mentality that's given to you by the head coach,
Yeah.
you know, if they want you to be looking for your shot.
Well, 6.7 seconds left. Romeo at tumanggap. The last foul that Meralco will be able to give. So yun na, kumaway na si Nusam saying, no more fouls for us, that penalty na ang boss. 4.9 seconds. Melesio picks it up.
Lost
Loses
it.
control, and that will be the end of the first quarter. Meralco putting up 30 big points and enjoying a 14-point lead. And a firma, medyo nakakuha na ng
in that first quarter, only 3 for Terra Firma. And then yung field goal shooting, ito mabigat. 32% for Terra Firma, 53 for the Meralco Bolts.
Yeah, that's definitely a big disparity. Melesio running out of space. Ay bigay naman kay Romeo. Katapusan was trying to get position underneath, pero yung atin yung depensa ni Luz. Romeo going one-on-one, well defended by Cancino. Counter-attack para sa Meralco. Rayson nagmamadali. Rayson finishes with the left hand.
Tried doing that last Friday, and you can just really see how quick he is when he goes even to the left side.
Melesio gusto sana makabawi, pero ang ganda rin ang depensa. Sanggala. Looking for space. Double, triple team. And he loses control. Babalik ang bola sa Meralco.
Maganda dito kay Brandon Bates. He may not be as strong as the other big men, but kahit makuhanan na siya ng posisyon, he's able, kaya nang habulin sa taas eh, because of how gifted he is in terms of being able to jump.
Brandon Bates, he has proven, una nitong pinatunayan sa PBA yung ability niya to defend.
He was a big part of why Meralco won.
Yeah, definitely. You're talking about the Philippine Cup,
Yes,
right?
he did a good job in helping out, trying to slow down itong Jumar Park.
At saka, you know this, Tom, that yung depensa si Jumar ng one game sa elimination round, it's a whole different story than going up against the 8-time MVP in a series.
Oh, yes.
Lalo na with everything on the line in the finals. Sadivar cross-court to Romeo. Terence, sure, he's parang na-challenge talaga siya ng depensa ni Cancino. Newsom steps into a three, doesn't work. Anggalang with the rebound. There's that quick burst from Elesio drawing the foul.
A good start for Terra Firma at the start of the second quarter, right? They scored 4 points right away. Pero may sagot agad dito Meralco. May counter na 7-2 for the Bolts.
Gumanda na eh, no? Yung takbo ng laro ng Terra Firma. But that's the Meralco way. They will always have some sort of response. Nonoy, his three, no good. Ito si Karap, bagong pasok. Pascual to Cancino, open on the right side, drills the three.
Yeah, they're really putting a lot on CJ Cancino. When I say putting a lot, they're hoping that when he comes off the bench, he's able to score 5-7 points. Because he is a scorer, known scorer as well, even when he was playing in the amateur ranks. Nung papasok niya sa PBA, ang ganda na nung simula niya eh. But then suffered an injury with his toe, if I'm not mistaken. And, sidelined a little bit. So he's trying to get back that sharpness.
You know, this guy, such a talented player. High school pa lang to, UAAP MVP na to eh. But then, you're right about just injuries getting in the way of a straight line to stardom and success.
Nung college, naman nagkaroon ng knee injury. And then, when he came here to the PBA, he had a toe injury. So that's really something that he'll need to be able to work on because he's such a good talent.
Absolutely. Oh, here he is now, healthy, and that's what he can do when he's given the opportunity to. CJ Cancino, 5 straight points for
Diba? Same year eh. Nung sinimulan yung PBA, dun din nagsimula. Ito si Magumar John.
Quick story for Coach Turod. This was if you read the article, it's on the PBA website. He was quote-unquote boy for from the Rizal Memorial Tennis Court. Dito lang. And then if eventually becoming a coach and a very decorated one. What a story. Yan yung mga kwento na gusto nating mapaalala at maibahagi sa mga younger PBA fans as the PBA turns 5 na malaban.
Pa yan, si Coach Turo Valenzuela when he was coaching.
Nakalaban na naglalaro. Hindi. Kinabahin ako doon.
Hindi nagko-coach na siya. Nakalaban ko yung anak niya.
Si Raymond Valenzuela. Open was Mendoza. That's a shot, pero hindi pumasok.
Oh.
Donoy, sobrang bilis na iwan yung bola. It's not Paraiso who recovers. That was the defense of Meralco disrupting it. Pero nawala yung depensa sa ilalim. Cancino could no longer stop Sanggalang.
That's what we're talking about. Sanggalang knows how to use good footwork in that shaded area.
Tsaka ang lakas ng katawan yan ni Luis Sanggalang. Meralco back-to-back misses for them coming off that timeout. Terra Firma has not really been able to push the pace as fast as they want to, but Sanggalang! Wow! Torres at Pascual nakapayong sa kanya doon, wala problema.
And he takes it strong. Look at this move. He just scored prior to this. Spinning, getting the bump. That little floater.
Yun din nakita natin doon sa replay. Medyo ilaw yung help from Al Pascual. He was unsure. There was a player that he had to defend din kasi by the free throw line.
9 points already for Sanggalang. Remember, he had 21 in the first game.
And Coach Charles Chu, who was part of our broadcast team, also part of Converge previously, he was coaching against Sanggalang in college. At nung kalaban niya pa lang to, sinabi niya on social media that Sanggalang was PBA ready already. And that was about 2 years ago. Louis just proving it now that he's here on the stage.
And it's just, waiting for that right moment if you're in the PBA. Kasi pabibigyan ka ng opportunities, right? And wherever you are, whenever you're on the floor, you keep on working. And when you're not on the floor, even more work needs to be done.
Ito si Cara. To Torres, bothered by the defense. Nonoy, a foot race. Walang makakahabol dyan.
That's an 11-0 run by Terra Firma.
Nabasa ko lang yun kasi matanda ng PBA yung silin na yun.
Actually, hindi, kailangan ko pasalamatan si Baku. hindi ko sa kanya narinig.
Karams, Luis Mendoza, mintes dun sa kaliwa, mintes dun sa kanan. Pero tumpito na lang yung hinahabol ng Firma, they've extended this run. 13-0 blitz. Oh no, the kick out to no one. He was expecting Paradiso to be there in the corner kaso nag-relocate si Brent. At sinasabi ni Coach Raymond Chonko kay Nonoy, andun ka na sa basket, itira mo na. Meralco has been very silent. Karam, gustong basagin yung silence and he does in the 3.
I just love the look in the eyes of Anjo Karam. Kasi focus na, regardless if they're up 20, down 20, or digitan, andun.
That's right.
And yung competitive nature niya is always there.
Well, you know what? For anyone saying that there's no room in professional basketball for shorter guys, just look at how long Anjo Karam has been in the PBA.
He's only played for one team.
That's right. At alam mo, kung hindi man naka-line up, he's there in a Meralco polo shirt as a coaching, as a member of the coaching staff or helping out in some way. He is that valuable. At yun din ang gustong mangyari ni Cholo Mendoza with him helping out with the 3. Back-to-back na 3 para sa Bulls. Sanggalang defying the defense of Pascual. Luis Sanggalang has been pouring in the heart. It's a miss. But saved by Aldrich Ramos.
That time they're trying to attack the defense of Dennis Romeo.
Sabi ni Aldrich, ako pa talagang pinakamatanda sa atin yung kailangan mag-dive.
Leading by example.
11-point lead still. Nonoy knocked out. The 3 draws closer, floater goes in. Mark Nonoy with 8.
You know, ever since he's turned on the Jets, so to speak, that's really been, you know, a lot of things, good things happening for Terra Firma. Remember, in that first game, itong Terra Firma, Nonoy had a lot of assists.
Oh yeah, and you know, his 3-point shooting has also improved so much. Hodge doesn't get the bounce. Firma will have a chance here. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the first half.
Talking about Mark Nonoy in that first game, 4 points, 4 assists in 24 minutes of action.
You know what, it took Sanggalang a long time para matali yung sintas niya, and it was supposed to be an advantage for Meralco, but Pringle says, ako bahala.
Seeing that mismatch, Stanley Pringle.
Pringle has now scored 6 points, pero sinabot agad ni Karam, the mid-range master in Anjo Karam. He covered that man when he was with Senbeda.
Mas deadly lang.
That's true.
Diba? More efficient.
Ito will attack and will score in transition.
Good decision that time, just taking it all the way. Nakita niya, it was a 2-on-1, and he's bigger, taller, and had the advantage against Dennis Romeo.
Sanggalang, gustong kumatake na naman. Takes it out, Nonoy for 4. Doesn't work, Pringle with a rebound. And that will stay with Terra Firma. An observation, Tom, and I'll get your thoughts on it. Let's take a look at this first. The jumper from Anjo Karam, yun yung pinag-usapan natin. And then, it's transition basket for Bonky. Itong Terra Firma, they go to Sanggalang, who has been a consistent provider of points, but it takes him a long time to get stuff done sa ilalim because that's the kind of attack that he likes. Doon siya sanay.
Old school type, diba? Poste, right? He likes it one-on-one. And you gotta give business. He's there competing. He's there trying to do a good thing for his team. Andrew Garm already with 7 points, all coming here in the second quarter.
Romeo, the three, does it work? Amazon with the rebound. Last say for Meralco. Garm was open on the left side, pero last shot ang gustong hanapin ni Bongkito. Jumper, that works! And the first half ends with Meralco re-erecting a 13-point lead.
Well, we saw that, and there was that